anyone who took a bullet and lost their lives for us. I'm coming from Kitengela, and I want to say this categorically without fear that I am so proud of my Kitengela people, even though the goons infiltrated our movement, still it was a success. You know, Kitengela, on Tuesday, a police, he saw me with a flag and he threw a tear gas on me at 9 in the morning. Those who are coming from Kitengela, you know Rubies. The Rubies next to Peter Inn. A police officer threw a tear gas on me. I was on a bike because I was carrying a flag. Definitely that means I was a threat. Anyway, that tells us that we should be fearless and we should come out to the streets. I have a few points that I need to raise. First of all, I am a lady and I want all the ladies. If you agree with me, please give me an emoji if you agree on what I'm just about to say. As ladies, we know how to hurt best. If you want to hurt a man, if you want to hurt your friend, if you want to hurt your parents, sorry parents who are here, sometimes we want to hurt you. If you want to hurt your parents or your boyfriend or anyone, you press where it hurts most. You press where it hurts most. And on this case, I want to ask everyone who is in this space, where does it hurt best? Where is it? Think, where is it that, what place or what institution that if we press as a youth, if we go to that institution, if we occupy that institution, do you think the government will feel the hurt? Where does it hurt best? Is it GKIA? Is it the State House? Is it the American Embassy? Is it the closure of the borders? The closure of the ports? You know? Where does it hurt best? Because clearly, for me, I think I have been on the street all through. I swear, I have been on the streets all through, and it's not everyone who speaks on the space comes out to the streets. Guys, please, uoga, tuachane nayo. You don't always have to die. If it's not your day, you will not die. Believe me, you. I have been on the streets. I've known how the police work. Please think and let's come out. Do we occupy the State House? Do we occupy the JKA, American Embassy, the border? Someone said we need to occupy everywhere, including the lunga, the ferries. You know, usijaribu those guys who are in Mombasa. Funga, do not let the ferries go through. Close everywhere, occupy everywhere. Suppose we occupy all those borders. I'm just thinking, where does it hurt best? Yeah. And then my other point is, clearly we've gone through. We've we've heard what the president said, and the best way that we could have salvaged our country is by impeaching the president, and that can only happen through the parliament, which we do not have. We do not have the parliament right now, so the impeachment is not possible in Kenya. We cancel that definitely. So is occupying parliament season 2 possible? Yeah. Those of us who are brave enough to occupy parliament, is it possible that we need to do that? And I totally agree with my comrades who said that they are so blaming the people who said that we should go home. It's late. That we should go home. We were in town. We were so close. The police didn't have no tear gas. They also tensed, and everything working right. The universe was on our side. I swear to God, those of us who were in town at that time, that was the best time for us to have, occupied the state house. But the big wigs here, as always, mulikuja mkatuzia a lot of fear. Personally, I was off. I don't carry my phone around. I didn't even see it. I saw it later. But I could hear people, turudi home, turudi home, turudi home. What did you guys meant by that? We need to come out in big numbers. I always appreciate each and every one of us who came out to the streets on that day of occupied parliament. We were so many, and do not relent. I swear to God, guys, do not relent. If we come out in big numbers the way we were that day, we will be able to occupy each and every place that we are talking about right now. If we say that we agree, let's occupy State House, we agree, let's occupy JKIA, we agree, let's occupy the embassy, where does it hurt best? The place that we will come out in agreement that this is where Zakai will feel the pinch.
I don't know what's happened to our mic, but you remember the the expose that I promised you. Finally, I've managed to get the lady about the expose about Chirchir. And you guys need to understand, you see, the good thing with the spaces is we are able to educate each other, we are able to give each other pointers, na pia kuongezeana hasira more and with more knowledge to stay ignorant. Even when we are saying we are rejecting like someone like Chirchir, if haukuwa na enough reasons, apart from the scandals that there are more scandals. Since I've managed to get Achieng hapa, atupee hii chai. Hii hata si chai because hii ni sijui hata niweke kategori gani, but hii ni ya kuongeza tu hasira, so that the new garbage that William Ruto has returned inside ni takataka tupu amerudisha tena. So kindly Acheng, if you can hear me and you have the space is yours, tupe chai.
Hi, thank you, Mkenya. I'm just driving home. Give me 3 minutes. Niache tu kwa panel because I've been dropping up and down. I'm coming back. Thank you.
Okay, guys. When we are waiting for that tea about Chirchir, let me allow Dani. I know she is usually fire on the mic. So Dani, kindly jump in.
Thank you Mkenya. Na vile nilikuwa nimengoja tia Achieng kwanza ndio ni spill ndio ni mwage hasira. Hebu nipite kwanza, give somebody else. Me, I'm waiting for that tea.
Yeah. So Victor, kindly jump in.
Ruto must go. I hope you guys can hear me. If you can't, please just say something. So for me, I'm a disappointed Kenyan today because this guy has literally shown us the middle finger, because in a country of over 50 million people, it can't be that someone like Chirchir, who has been fired previously even in the Ruto government, he still finds his way back. So for me, I think it's like these guys, when they were looking for the ticket to the State House, it's like they are holding this guy a captive. This kina Duale, kina Kindiki, Rigathi, Alice Wahome. It's like these guys invested too much in this guy that they're the ones who might be threatening to, if they're not in government, they can remove this guy. So I have a couple of points that I'll put across. And the first point is about the mobilization. So about mobilization, let us be on the ground. Guys, the day when we occupied the parliament, I didn't manage to get to the parliament. However, I was with the group that was near the Railways Club. I left my 1-year-old baby, Mimi plus Mama Mtoto. We left the baby at home with our nanny to go on street to fight for the future of our kid. And just like any other person, we were not sure if we would come back alive. Okay? So don't fear to die, because ultimately every one of us here will die. And kitu yote unaweza kuwa unaogopa kwenda maandamano, mafuriko ikuje ikubebe, upite kwa njia, mtu apite na wewe. So this is the best chance that we can utilize our energy, our competence to fight this bad governance. So let's rethink on how we can get more people on the streets, because the people who are at railways, hapo hiyo gate ya railways hii yenye ina join na Haile Selassie, if this, I think we would have helped the guys who political class has this narrative that, oh, we want to make Kenya the next Singapore, we want to make Kenya the next Hong Kong, blah blah blah. And the caliber of people who, when Singapore wanted to become who they are today, did. He studied education, kitu kama hiyo. Can you compare Aden Duale and the Singapore defense minister? Do that. Can you compare our CS for health and the CS for health in Singapore? Can you compare the CS and public works with the equivalent in Singapore? These guys don't even match, and they keep telling us easy upuzia, they want to be the next what have you come to do, wanatuambia fees. And then wewe unakuja hapa Kenya where nothing works and you want to implement the same things. It will never work. So we need to rethink on this issue of Singapore. If we want to be the next Singapore, we want people who have shown competence in their previous. And then my other issue is on, it's more related to the first issue, but it's more on foreign policy. Guys, majority of our politics, the Europe, China, and these other global powers have cornered these guys, because hawa watu ni watu wako na akili ya they can't think beyond getting money into their pockets. Because how do you explain that every car that country that inaenda kwa Kenya karibu mara 5, and these guys, instead of looking for ways to bring those industries here so that they can create jobs, wow, kazi yao ni kununua gari za 25. How can a country like Japan be giving aid to over 1 billion people in Africa? Just because this random guys, they lack understanding of foreign policy. My other point is on IMF. IMF is fucking up because the kind of people who is Devin D, like, can we have that guy out? Failure, bado ako in the current government. We cannot fix things when we keep recycling the same people. My other point is on deplatforming the politicians. These guys are now coming back. They have regrouped. As you can national unity. The problem is issues that are facing us. And we want a functional government. And by functional government, we mean functional, the structures that the Constitution put in place should be working. During Easter, my Stacia, I think medics in this space know that hii ya sijui inaganda mtu ama nini. Doesn't have such kind of a thing. And it was around 8 p.m. So explain to me, what do they do? Is it just sitting around kuzungusha kiti na kuweka AC on? My other, okay, I was still on the deplatforming the politician. Ways that we can keep these people off the church. There's this guy on Twitter who had started a very good initiative. Can we find ways to support each other? Anafaa ambiwe kama anataka kuongea atoe ushuhuda venye Yesu amemuokoa ama venye karibu ameza kifagio na akaponea, instead of telling us rubbish about tumewaambia tutafanya tumetenga and all those shenanigans. The other point is about the nusu mkate thing. I see, my feeling is that these guys wanataka kugawana serikali to look like they are building a broad-based government. I don't think that is what we want. We just want function. Just to give you guys some things I've learned when I was outside the country. When you look at a country like China, Japan, Korea, South, these people are given, for lack of a better word, some incentives to come back and innovate in their country. Busy running around looking for jobs, of the society. Guys, that is not sustainable, because we want the best minds to stay in this country to hold these people accountable. Mimi, personally, have lived out of the country for more than 6 years, and I came back when every foreigner it cannot be that we are leaving our country for foreigners to build it, yet sisi tunatafutiwa kazi. There's no difference. For me, what I see is that there's no difference between to the British. Yani, let me just stop.
Okay, thank you for that submission. I don't know whether na vile huyu kumpata. Okay, Mr. Science, kind
No, he's not speaking.
Interesting. Richard?
I'm in Nairobi. I said picha wapi. I want to mbaya sana leo how he named his cabinet. Mtu kama Alice Wahome. In fact, how can you even define her? What has she done? What is the visibility on her role? She was moved from a certain ministry to a different ministry. There's nothing we can account for. Mtu kama Ndwale, full of himself, you know, he doesn't care. He cares about his few people, his cartels, wale watu anauza nao sukari na vitu zingine za ukora. Unakuja hapa Kindiki, he don't care. He doesn't give any explanation why young people have been killed. Many people at Kidurai, many people were killed, very young people, na government imeficha kutuambia ukweli. So what we need to do, first thing first, the strategy is always very important. If you ask me, we should first wait tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, he names his full people, including Raila Odinga, mzee ambaye tumejaribu kusaidia tukiona anapigania democracy, tunaona kama anatupea space, but he has been pocketed. I think the and few for William Ruto, because perhaps Kalonzo has refused. So the hearsays has it that he's taking 4, Ruto takes 3. Now, and some of the big names we are hearing, people that were former, governors, kama jana, kuna clip imesambaza, ameenda huko Western, amepatana na Oparanya, he's going to be given something. And this guy plan, see what they're going to do. So first, mi naomba tuache amalizane nayo Tuesday, because he will name either Monday or Tuesday. To move, but again, we don't need position. What we want is to see a good governance where our young kids who are still 2 years, 1 year, 4 years are going to have a country where they can call each other and at least feel like they have a country they can stay in, they can have opportunities. But if we don't step up and create this environment for our kids, then we are going to lose it. Kuna watu wanaogopa. We have to speak our mind because the youth are the majority. The Gen Zs and the millennials are the majority, 75%. That is like almost 30 million to 40 million, 30 to 35 million people. These are young people who have the energy, charisma, they have gone to school, they know what they need, and we need to step up. Huyu jamaa hawezi enda kwa conference today and what is naming is just bullshit. Anaturudishia huyu msichana hata hajui kujieleza. This lady for environment, I don't know his name, is it Tunai or something? I don't even like. You go back to this other guy, the new person, but who was a deputy to the guy who has been fired. Watu wameacha shule, watoto hawasomi. This Mashogu, then they go and bring his deputy? What if Mashogi is going to be the PS? Who knows? Now, when you fire Murkomen or you don't bring Murkomen, huu jamaa katika hii serikali ya William Ruto na Uhuru Kenyatta has been a cartel for William Ruto. Now he's on the table, moved from energy to transport. This is where now they're going to steal our resources, our tax, and William Ruto doesn't care. Ruto does not care anybody. He speaks so eloquently. He seems like he's caring. But people say, and it is true, if you follow up this guy, when he gives you something, he must gap for it. So he gives you a ministry, but allocates you resources, he comes for those resources. Then pretends that we are doing ABCD. As young people, we need to step up. We need to first amalize. Atamaliza maybe kesho. Akimaliza kesho, Tuesday tuko pale. Kama anamaliza Monday, Tuesday tuko pale. Akimaliza Tuesday, Thursday tuko pale. Let him finish. Name. First, we need to destroy Raila Odinga because he has joined a government that we have been fighting, a government that doesn't care. He has been given his goodies, and he has had some few guys to start now going to destabilize our movement. Give him stress, enough stress, and if many young people who has trusted him that he's going to stand with us, he has already been pocketed, and William Ruto is very happy. That's what he has done. Number 3, tribalism. Ukiangalia hata hiyo cabinet vile imekuwa named, and this is where now young people are just trying to correct what this guy is doing. Ana name cabinet na anaogopa kwa sababu ndi majamu alimsaidia. Unaangalia Kashago amesimama pale, amesema wewe maybe nipe yangu 3 4, amechukua their friends. But when you go to Central, I walk chaos happening with the young people from Central. They're helpless. There's nothing happening. Hidings, they're taking a lot of changa, and their leaders don't care. They're doing deals. Few young politicians whom we feel like they could have been protected these generations who have joined politics, but again, they have gone into doing deals with the old guys. I come from Bungoma. There's this guy called Didimas Baras. Ni jamaa ambaye, if you look at him, he's still very young. But he doesn't represent the majority of the youth in representation. Look, within 8 years, if you want to know that these people are still, he has done so many things that if you start following up on accountability, he cannot explain. Deals, stealing, scaring people. He killed a young person in Kimilili. He's walking free. And nothing is happening. Recently, he was in Kimilili, and he was speaking so nonsensely about the Gen Zs. And these are the first people that we should deal with. Some of the young politicians who are misbehaving, who are not being part of this movement in terms of even how they speak. We need to deal with them. Today or yesterday, I heard Sifuna has been so eloquent, very good. But after the ODM has gotten a deal, he has gone into hiding, and he's speaking very nonsense. And we have a country to protect. We have a country to do what? Yes, everyone has a country to protect. But if you betray the consciousness of this movement and how we started on this space and how young people are trying to excel, and then you have betrayed the entire generations. And we don't like such people. So I want to echo these people who are here, because most of you guys, you are doing your hustle. I'm sure 95% of you are not working with government. Either you're working in the private sector like myself, or you're doing your own business. And it is very hard in this country currently, even to do a business, even to start your own kiosk. It is very difficult. Even if you start, people are eating once in a while. you cook in the morning, unaacha chakula, utasema hii utakula mpaka jioni. Mtu unampea chai, anaenda shule, akikuja saa 7 mkate uli
Have we lost Richard? Ama ni mimi tu peke yangu simsikii?
Maybe asimsikii. If you are in the request panel, kindly cancel your request and request again. I can't really see any request on my side.
Yeah. So tafadhali, because Edgar had an issue with the mic and he has been able to refresh the space. So kama ulikuwa request the mic, just cancel and you request again ndo Edgar aweze kuona your mics, because Edgar is not able to see any mics. Meanwhile, Dani, I think you can talk tukingoja Achieng. So tunangoja chai ya Chirchir. Now alituibia. So
Thank you so much, Kenya Daima and Edgar. First of all, let me start by saying I am very ready for Tuesday. Very ready for Tuesday. Whatever. Actually, today I'm so disappointed because the reappointment, Ruto, in short, Ruto alikuwa anatuchezea. Akasa cabinet secretaries wote, then akareappoint 6 of them. So in short, nini alikuwa anafanya? Ni kutupima alikuwa anatupima. It is that notion of garbage out, garbage in. You remove this garbage outside ati ni chafu. Unakaa kidogo unafikiria tena unasema, oh, wacha tu niirudisha, I still need this, that around me. And by the way, with Chirchir is the most corrupt person in Ruto's cabinet. But kitu anafanya is rewarding his people. That is what he is doing. And he keeps on doing that day in, day out. Na kutupima, kutuona ni kama sisi ni mafala. Like we cannot do anything about it. So as for me, yesterday there's a space I was speaking jana ya K24 TV. And I said this, actually whatever we are fighting for, see ati we want the government to employ all of us. Tuko wengi sana, tuko wengi for real. But now the problem comes in that the playing field is not levelized. Personally, mimi nafanya biashara. Yes, nilienda shule nikasoma nikagraduate, but ever since I graduated I've never found a job. I've been applying, so nikaresort kusema instead of being idle, let me do business. But then that business, when you are trying to do it, unapata KRA wako on your neck, you have to file returns, bado umelipa Nairobi City County for the permit, bado makanjo wanakufuata, you're supposed to pay for fire, all these things. At the same time, keep in mind customers wako, because of the economy, inflation imekuwa high. Now the economy I perform poa. So like biz pia haiko poa, because you are like whatever you are doing, customer nini, people wenye wanapata do atalipa school fees, atalipa rent, ama atakuja kununua whatever you are selling. So like imekuwa ngumu kabisa. So for me personally, I was fighting, I've been going to the street fighting, so that at least the playing field equal levelized. At least so that some of us wenye tuna hustle, at least vitu zikuwe poa kiasi. So that at least hiyo do ikue. As in cash flow haiko kabisa. Cash flow imekuwa mbaya kabisa. That is why we keep fighting day in, day out. Of course, tuna fight pia for jobs, so that at least people were employed on terms of merit. Because Kenya imekuwa like, hii corruption ama hii nepotism inaanzia huko juu, ama hii favoritism inaanzia huko juu. Ruto anapoint CS wao na ma-PS wake, au anapoint watu wao wenye wanapoint watu wao wenye wanapoint watu wao. At the end of the day, sisi wenye hatuna watu wetu kwa gava, we end up suffering. So na tukitry at least hizi hustle zingine, unapata inakuwa ngumu, inakuwa difficult. Wenye wana hawk kwa njia, vitu zao zinaharibiwa, like smokies and the eggs and all of that inaharibika. So really, personally I can say that for me, I won't get tired, because I'm doing this for myself, my family, my children. I'm doing all this for them. That is why I'm not going to get tired in this fight. And something else about dialogue. Mimi, okay, nani ajui Raila? Hii Kanan Raila alianza kutupeleka mwaka gani? Hatujaifika. Who doesn't know Raila? Tumekuwa tukienda kana na tufiki. Raila is self-centered. That is why tumekuwa tukiona after elections kuna kwa na hizi riots. Once ameitwa kwa table to negotiate ni hivyo. Amepotea hivyo. Tunachiwa njiani hiyo kana na tufiki. So really, maybe by then let me just say that I'm not shocked. Rather, I'm not shocked. Neither am I surprised that he agreed to go for dialogue. He's fighting for himself. Ni tumbo karai. These people, all of them are just gluttonous. Ni self-interest. Because anajua, akipata watu wake waekwe kwa cabinet, those people are going to pay him. That is how this thing works. They pay him, or rather even they pay Ruto, and then hizi pesa zinapotea, they eat the money together. So really, I don't think it's time for us to back down. Keeping in mind of our fallen heroes, most of our friends, siblings, sisters, brothers have been killed in this revolution. So I don't really think that if we back down now, all of that is just going to be inaenda kukua wasted. And not forgetting, we are dealing with a narcissist. Ruto is just a very, very big narcissist. Still abductions are going on. Still people are being abducted. So atujui hata sisi wenye tunatweet huku kwa space ama wenye tunaongea, they're just in these spaces. NIS wako hapa, DCI wako hapa wanaangalia. Nani anaongea vibaya sana, nani anasema Ruto must go, kesho atakukujia kwa nyumba, you know. So it is still, I think we are in an era where we chose Moi in a different cloth, you know, because Ruto actually is Moi. We are just living in another era of Moi, where even the court orders are not being followed. Tunatumiwa mpaka ma KDF wakati wa protest. Are we terrorists really in our own country? Tunatumiwa KDF. How? Why? Not forgetting IDs, apply ID. Siku hizo apply ID inakuja na expiry date. You want to tell me that after those 10 years we are going to stop to be Kenyans? Ama really, what is going to happen? Because I don't really understand why IDs have expiry date. I think history ID we should push it kabisa. We should push mambo ya ID kabisa. We should push for mambo ya ID, mambo ya expiry date ya ID tolewe. Actually applying for ID should be free. Siku hizo apply ID unalipa. Ukipoteza ID unalipa 2K. Ukienda ku apply ID fresh, like sasa umefika 18 years, still you pay. Like which country are we living in? Mimi hata nilikuwa na expect hata passport unafaa tupewe free. But see, a few months ago pesa ya passport iliongezwa. We kept quiet. We didn't complain, we didn't talk about it. From 6,000 I think to 9,000 and something. Ukipoteza sahi passport you pay 20,000. As in, life is becoming expensive day by day. So for me, when we say we occupy the airport, I believe and strongly agree.
What has happened? Am I the only one who is not hearing the conversation?
No, Marvin kindly nini, because everyone I believe everyone is anasikia Dani, na kama uko kwa listeners tupe 200 kama you can hear Dani. Alafu Dani make it quick ndo nipeane mics kadhaa.
All right. As for me, I should say that we should keep the fight going. We should keep the fire burning. We shouldn't relent. We shouldn't get tired. Remember, when we lose our fear, they lose their power. So time ikifika August, we should start recalling the MPs, because I understand they can be recalled after 2 years in the office. Also, lawyers in the house, please, mutusaidie ku understand hizi vitu sana. Nyinyi ndio mmelewa hii mambo ya law sana. So whenever tunahitaji kuchanuliwa, kindly you come us thoroughly, so that at least tukue informed, so that when we are advocating and making noise and calling these leaders out, at least we have the points. We are saying what is valid. So kindly, also lawyers in the house, I will like to request you to continue with the advocacy, to continue with the teaching us, to continue with the civic education, because the more we get knowledgeable or educated, the more we continue to stay vigilant, the more we instill fear in them, na hatutachoka. Thank you so much. Let me mute so that at least somebody else can speak. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You've highlighted on a very important issue. We are asking for systems that can work. We're asking for people with integrity to be in the government, and that is something clearly. There is something Ruto imemshinda kabisa. We've seen that. We've seen all the vomiting amefanya. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting for Achieng to connect back. Atupe hiyo chai, hiyo expose ya Chirchir, because in these spaces tunakujanga kuongezeana knowledge so that when we are out there we are able to understand. Yani uko na more reasons to be out there. I can tell you for free, Danny, what you've talked about, like we went from owning offices somewhere in Westlands tukajaribu a co-working space ya as low as $600 hapo GTC, and I can tell you ilibidi tumefunga tukajaribu a small co-working space hapo CBD ya as low as 25,000, and we could not still manage it. And those are the easy businesses, most of the businesses that are being run by young people. You know, we went to working for mom. Say we are working for moms, but because of all the level field is now, hata tumefika stage we are even struggling to pay rent sasa. And you know, you can see all that. Mnaona kwenye hasira inatoka, and we are not even asking. Me sitishi kiti ya OCS. That's why I am only asking for systems that are working. That's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for the government to have people with integrity, not people who are stealing the little that is there. Meanwhile, let me allow the guy called Marvin Naonge, then I will continue with the rest of the mics. Thank you. Okay, Joanita, kindly jump in. Johnny, unanisikia?
Yes, can you hear
Johnny
me?
Nalo.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Jump in.
Okay, so I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity. I had 3 points to make. First of all, it is very disappointing to see what the president did. But again, I don't want to regurgitate what we've all said. I had 3 points to make and I'll hand over. We've talked a lot about China, Singapore, and the differences that make these countries. And you'll notice that in China, for example, they have a national civil service exam that makes it open for anybody to take a test, pass that test, and be recruited into the civil service, contrary to the methods we apply today that seem to stem a lot from corporate tradition and practice. So we need to consider introducing something like a civil service exam that would provide a pathway for meritocracy in civil service. Secondly, I wanted to talk about the financialization of the economy. The problem, as I see it in Kenya today, is one of upward social mobility. We talk of the American dream in the States. You can rise from nothing and become something. But we live in a country that you can do everything right, as Edgar has said, launch your business, hire a place, get some money. But the odds of you succeeding are really low unless you're connected. So we need to work on upward social mobility. And to do that, we have to talk about capital flows. All of us listening to me have money saved in banks. Now, where the banks decide to direct money determines what grows in an economy. And what we are seeing the world over is a financialization of the economy, where money, instead of spurring industry and growth and jobs and being allocated to help people start businesses, money is being used to trade, money is being used to buy government bonds. So naturally, all our money is going into one sector and disappearing. So we have to talk about the way the market, the banks are distributing capital in our economy. Finally, the focus by the current government on foreign direct investment is completely at odds with the dreams and visions of young people as I see them, because for Ruto, any job is worth anything. And it's okay when you need to survive, you're willing to do the mjengo. There's nothing wrong with that. But that cannot possibly be the vision that is being sold to thousands of us with all these ideas and rich expertise. And so that focus on foreign direct investment is well known. The idea is to get lots of money flowing in here, but none of that money really affects us and spurs growth. So unless we deal with social upward mobility and income inequality from a serious perspective, we'll change Ruto, we'll change whoever, but the systems in place also need to be tackled. So my final request is to those like Edgar and others who have platforms, please give us more opportunities to be able to address specific aspects of the issues that we face. Keep doing the spaces, and thank you for giving people like me the opportunity to be here.
Thank you, Johnny. That was quite insightful, and yeah, that was a good submission. Tony, Tony, kindly jump in.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to also hear my thoughts regarding the current, or rather the recent appointments for the cabinet. I would begin by saying, like, this is more or less a political problem, because if you look at the way we do our politics, especially in Africa, in Kenya, it goes without saying that if you want to make money in Africa, basically, like especially in Kenya, if you want to make money, you go to public sector, you go to politics, to be specific. If you want to help the society, you go to private investments and all that, or rather in private practice or in business. In the West, like in the United States, in Europe, and other Western countries, if you want to make money, you go to private sector, you open businesses, you become an innovator. But when you want to make money, but when you want to help people, you go to politics. That is why those countries are developed. In other words, they develop because people who have really sacrificed themselves, they also they are also able to help people through bringing policies that are. If you look you look keenly, in Kenya we have billionaires, we have dollar billionaires, and these dollar billionaires, they have invented nothing. They own no industries. They own nothing. There's nothing tangible that you can say this person has become so and so simply because of becoming an innovator, of having this so and so these industries which are employing XYZ people. I mean, but they are dollar billionaires. So it is more or less a mafia kind of hybrid governance. And Ruto has become a hostage of this system. I think he's a hostage of this system because he himself is a beneficiary of that same system. Look at the kind of people he's trying to bring back. The PA for CS Agriculture is now the new Agriculture CS. He was serving under Mithika Linturi. So this is Mithika Linturi in shadow cabinet. Look at education. The person who has been nominated was the deputy governor for Machogu when he was vying for the previous governorship in, I think, in Kisii or whatever. That tells you that will be Machogu in shadow leadership. In other words, it's just a mind game. I think Ruto was playing a mind game to us and trying to contain this situation. Look at Davis Chilchil. This guy has been mentioned times that without a number in so many scandals. Look at Duale. I think he has been brought there to balance the northern side of Kenya or whatever. I mean, it is the more things change, the more they remain the same. And as Kenyans, we need to change this narrative. This narrative of for you to make money, you go to politics. People who owned nothing, right now they have bought posh places in Karen, in Ruda, and whatever. Someone who couldn't even, put his things together before this administration came to power. They are now, they are now swimming in pools of money, stashing them offshores. Why? Because our system has literally failed. And when Gen Zs are calling for a total shift in leadership, this is, I guess, this is the pivot point where we are saying we need a paradigm shift of our way of governance. Because there's no way that if you want to make money, you go to politics. If you want to help people, you go to private practice. And that's why politicians are so deliberate to kill industries. They are so deliberate in their policies to make sure no business thrives beyond a point where it can really bring powerful people in the society. Simply because they want the politicians to continue dominating, being the dollar billionaires, yet they have nothing to show that this is what I have done to make this much. And these are the people who are policymakers. That's why you saw the other day, the Senate passed the bill that was protecting the conflict of interest. It was they rubber stamped that we are for this. Even the most vocal politicians from the opposition, they are the movers of that. Why? Because the political class has really made sure that if you want to make money, you go to politics. Even the way we do our politics, even the way we do our campaigns, these people come give handouts. Why? Because they're showing you that I can buy you. That for me to get to this position, I have to buy it, and when I go there, I have to pay myself back 5 times, 30 times, 100 times. So even as we address these kind of vices, we also need to interrogate the way we do our politics. Because William Ruto is a hostage of this same system, is a beneficiary. First had a beneficiary. The guy has been in politics since 1992. He has, I think, he has climbed this ladder of opulence through all dubious means. He has been cutting deals left, right, and center. He everywhere you poke hole, he has interest. Everywhere you see, he has interest. He puts somebody there. You know, even when you're talking about these offices of the first lady, whatever, the first daughter, and all those opportunities are there to embezzle funds. And again, look at the research. They are defunding the research. They are not even concerned about the research. They are not concerned about education. That's why the education now is becoming like now a nightmare to anyone who goes beyond Form 4. Education will become so expensive so that the society can continue producing dumb people who cannot make logical decisions to be able to bring a change. This is so intentional because it is like that so that the political class can continue. So an overhaul of this system is very important, right from the policy level, right from the way we do our politics, right from the way we follow these people. We need to have a total paradigm shift. And even if this war will not be won today or tomorrow, it must be consistent. It must be the more we repeat these things, even in social media, in prayer, in podcasts, in news, in everything, the more we continue hammering this agenda, the more we continue calling for a morally upright society, the more we continue calling for accountable leadership, the more we are going to get there. Because the change will not begin with anybody else. The change will begin with us. And it will begin with the way we do our politics. For anyone who has ever vied, for a political post, I have ever been there. You realize you spend a lot of money, hard-earned money, you spend a lot of it, but even the people you are talking to, even your peers who have gone to the highest levels of education, these people don't listen to you. They end up electing these goons and mafias and corrupt people. You see, because The society also, we also have a moral problem. We also have a problem that we need to address within ourselves. We also need to change the way we think, the way we do our politics, the way we carry ourselves. Look at these people in those positions, in high positions. Most of them have gone to the best schools in the world. They are Ivory universities materials. They have gone to the West. They have seen how good the system works. They have seen how good policies efficiently transform a society from a third world to a first world country. But they consistently become hostages of this evil system of going to politics to make money. They have consistently sung the dances and the dirges of people who want us to be enslaved. In other words, as we interrogate this way, the way for the way to go from now, we also need to see how we can change the way we do our politics. Because even William Ruto right now, he's becoming a hostage of this system. And he's making it so difficult to balance between the two, between us, the slaves, the taxpayers, and those people who propelled him to power. Those people he's appointing, they spent billions of money on him, and they are giving him threats. They're telling him, if you don't if you don't do this, I'm going to blow the trumpet. I'm going to bring a dossier or whatever. In fact, most of that whole cartel is connected. That whole cartel is connected, very well connected, and the sacrifice is us. They say better sacrifice this person and this one and the other one. It is easier to contain them than you. So we also need to change the way we do our politics, right from the policy levels, right from the grassroots, all the way to the top. If we want to show the way, we as young people, we need to groom our people. We bring them up. We sell them on in our forums. We do everything. We do proper education to our parents, our brothers, our peers, and everything, and we show them reality of how things should be. Whenever you go to these Western countries, for those of you who have traveled, all those things that you see, we are denied that because of this kind of way of doing politics, where people pay their way up and they have to maintain that so that they can be able to please those people who propelled them to those places. Thank you so much.
Mkenya Daima, kindly.
Yes, okay.
Please give me a second. This is totally off topic, but I would like to point out something. Today, Edgar, please, I'm sorry, forgive me for saying this, but today marks exactly 1 month since Edgar was abducted. Personally, let me just say sorry for that. And also, I would like to kindly request Edgar and even the rest who have gone through that very bad ordeal to kindly, you can try to seek for therapy sessions, please, for the sake of your mental health. And please, if we have a therapist listening in the space, kindly reach out so that at least you can offer your assistance. I've been depressed before, so I know how this can drain somebody. I think perhaps in person somebody cannot understand the extent at which, if you are abducted, what you go through, how you are tortured, and the rest. But it can really drain someone mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything. So kindly, Edgar, we are sending you our hugs, even if most of us don't know you in person. But please, we are sorry. And if you can seek therapy session, that would be good. Let us be our brothers keepers. Let us check on each other, even if we don't know each other. So kindly, somebody must be going through something, and we may not understand the extent of the damage. So again, any therapist in the house, kindly reach out. Thank you so much.
Okay, just to add a little bit on how bad the situation is. Up to date, if you go to Kamkunji police station right now, they are still holding Edgar's phone. His phone has never been released. The file has been there dancing. The date he was supposed to be taken to court, that was never effected. and it has just been back and forth. But luckily, Edgar's as a lawyer right now has been pursuing the case. The only crazy part is his phone has never been released up to this date that we are speaking. Go to Kamkuji police station, go and confirm Edgar's phone is still there. That's how bad the situation is. But I think it's a matter he decided to, he has also captured it in his book about his abduction, which I believe it should be out soon. And I'm grateful that I also called all that in the book. Yeah, and thanks for that. Thanks for that. You, Anita, kindly jump in. Okay, Caesar, are you there? If Caesar is not there, Ace Om, unaweza ongea. Yo, Anita, unamsikia?
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, we can hear you.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing good. Thank you very much for the platform, Edgam Kenya. First, I would like to say there is nothing new with what Ruto did today. It's something I was expecting, so I didn't get shocked. I was prepared for it mentally. Secondly, there is Chirchir, Kindiki, Duale, Alice Wahome, and I think a couple of 2 or 3 CSs have a hold on Ruto. It's not an easy thing as we are thinking it is. They have a hold on him, so it's becoming difficult for him to do what Kenyans want and balancing the other sides. These people put out their money for Ruto to be there, because what I understand about the politic games of these people, if you check at Duale have been in the previous government, still in the opposition side. Like, he knows how to deal with the northern part of Kenya. He knows what goes inside the ins and out of there. That's why he was given the defense ministry, because through that he can be able to control things from the inside. Secondly, with Kindiki, they have, like, I would say they have a game they're trying to play as Kenyans. So unless we stand firm, even if we drop Ruto, let me tell you the truth, people, even if Ruto decides, like, okay, I'm done, I can go out, as long as these people still have a hold with the next individual that we're gonna choose, or the country gonna choose, things can never change in the country. The political class, it's not even, I will not call it a political class, it's a mafia clan. The mafia clan in Kenya operates in a manner that they put you in power for them to enrich themselves. It's not about politics. Kenya, it's not about politics. I think that what people don't understand mostly, it's more of a mafia thing. When you look at the things that they do like, they install you in power because they'll be able to control you. Let me tell you something. Why Raila has never been able to be instilled in power, because Raila has his own way of thinking things. But the problem of him is, whenever things are going like, he feels like, I can be there, he diverts the attention to the Kenyans so that Kenyans can feel I'm on your side, and then goes back into the department under the tunnel. That's how Raila thinks. Like, they can never choose him because he does things his own way, and he knows that's how yeye hushiba. Acha niseme hivyo. Coming to this other people, I'll tell you the truth. We don't have a political class in Kenya. We have a mafia clan, and I'll not fear to tell you that, guys. We have a mafia clan that runs the politics in Kenya. Their work is to protect what they have stolen day in, day out. So when they instill you in power, they make sure they get back what they gave you to that power. Ruto has been in this game for a very long time, and he has been amekuwa kipenya katikati mpaka akafika kule, like on the front seat, and he has made it. I won't lie to you, he has made it. But he thought he could emerge and do things his own way. But now we have this mafia clan, the people who owns the country. We are made to believe that the people who owns the country are the people who are billionaires. Yes, they are billionaires, they are there, but these are mafias silent mafia who control what they want you people to know and what they want the president to say, like their stomach matters. I'll say, and if it's gonna get me into problem, I don't have a problem. The Kenyatta family, the Odinga family, the Moi family, there are a couple of families whom I could say they have the hindrance of the mafias. These mafias are more private than the people we see on the front row. Actually, that's what happens. They are more private. You can never know them. You can never know how they're running their things, but that's how they run their things. Why did Ruto tell us he has fired the cabinet? Because that was the only way to try and calm down the system. They told him, okay, this is what the people want, do this. So Ruto is on a balance. First and foremost, yeye ni kichwa ngumu kivyake, so wanajaribu kumcontrol na yeye anajaribu kuwa control, so it's becoming a very difficult balance. So I'll tell you the truth, no matter what you do in this country, even if you have a good intention as a politician, I had an argument with some people some days back because they were telling me, oh, our area MCA, our area MP has not done work, and I told them no. The MCA might have good intention going to that post, but the problem comes when the people on top. I'll give you an example with the saga with the Kimani wa Matangi. Like, he's my area, he's my governor. My area MC has been having issues because of people complaining, oh, Ujinga barabara, you've not done this, you've not done that. But when I try telling people, they are both having issue and he cannot do anything without funds. They'll say like, no, you don't know anything about politics. No, unless the top bosses agrees on what you want. And if whatever you're doing doesn't go to whatever the bosses want, they're gonna squeeze you. They'll squeeze you like the way they squeezed Mike Sonko, the way they squeezed Waitito, the way they squeezed Kambogo. They squeeze you to a point like you'll be a little bit silent because you're not going to their flow. They're gonna dirtify you. So as long as we want change in Kenya, I'll tell you the truth. The mafia cartel they call themselves the political class. As long as it's still running Kenya, I will tell you the truth. Hakuna change tutafanya Kenya. It's a very long process, long process that it will headache us. Now, how this process came into power after the colonization, because it has been mentally instilled in Africans that, oh, unless we do this, our Africa hawezi sikia kitu, like we control them. That's why the IMF is in Africa, the World Bank is in Africa, all the international bodies feel like Africa is their dustbin where they can dump their businesses and remove money. It's the reason why you find, like, I'm sorry for talking much, it's the reason why you find like the likes of Syria, the likes of Middle East. Why do they have war? Because these people, the IMF, the international bodies rely on chaos. The more you're fighting, the more they're gaining the more things are going their own ways. That's how they rely. And how do they do this? They control the people, the mafias in their own country, the mini mafias. I would like to talk about Boniface Mwangi, Eric Omondi, and a couple of activists. I'm sorry to say so. These are activists that we know, but their mission is to tackle the government, but at the behind the scene, the international bodies are controlling them. I won't lie to you. It's something, or if you do your research, you'll utapata answers zako. That's how the mafia control the people. They'll have activists who will control things. But let me tell you, have you ever asked your question? Time and time again, Boniface Mwangi is always like, hatutaki hii serikali, haifanyi vile ninataka, it's not going this, it's not going that. Why is it that Boniface Mwangi hajaifinywa vile kunafaa? Wale wadogo ndio wanafinyangwa. Unajua kuna maswali tunafaa tujiulize kwa hii political class, kwa hii mafia clan ya hii political game ya Kenya, activism ya Kenya, mbona hajaifinywa? Unajua tunaweza sema it's because yeye ni public and stuff like that. I'm sorry about and stuff like that, but the activism in Africa, it's not activism. It's more of money laundering scheme, second money laundering scheme. It's the mafias working in Kenya. The likes of Kindiki, the likes of Ndwale, the likes of Musalia Mudavadi, all those political classes you find in Kenya, It's more of the mafia talking, dealing with activism, because they feel like ndio maana mnapata Boniface Mwangi akiwaambia mkienda State House hiyo ni kifo. Kwa nini atawaambia mkienda State House hiyo ni kifo? Kwa sababu ashaambiwa wewe sasa hapa ufai kupita. Parliament mnaweza fika, but hapa ndipo hamfai kufika. Let me tell you one thing, the moment people occupy State House, that will be the end of the current regime in Kenya, the government in Kenya, because that means the international bodies will have to step down and say, hey, tumefika mwisho. Occupying State House means like the government has no power again, and that's why Boniface Mwangi, the rest are trying to warn you. Hata kama wanawaonesha we are there with you, lakini wanawaambia occupying State House is kifo. Kwa sababu gani? Wanajua mkioccupy State House mmeshamaliza zile the main thing. Hii issue ya kina Churchill, hao ni watu ni makartels wa Kenya, by the way. Those are big cartels in Kenya. Alice Wahome, a very big cartel in Kenya. Churchill amekuwa kwa the government ya anaitwaje, Kibaki, Uhuru, and now in Ruto. Churchill ni cartel kivyake, Duale ni cartel kivyake. Alice Wahome, those are cartels. They are mafias in their own ways, so they have to control. So I would like to people, I'm not in the country, that's why I'm telling you people, if you want to occupy and if you want to pull down the regime that is there, occupy State House. They occupy the State House. I'm sorry, occupy the State House. It's the only way that's the only. Someone said like tunafaa tufinye mali tasikia uchungu. State House is the only way. Occupying everywhere, I'll tell you the truth, won't make sense, because hawa wanapiga kelele huku, hawa wanapiga kelele huku, hawa wanapiga kelele huku. No, it cannot be like that. You need to have a one stand, like we're gonna occupy here, like the stand I saw of let's occupy what do you call it, Uhuru Park. Occupy Uhuru Park was very fine because you people all gonna be in one place. They cannot kill everyone, and that's why they cannot kill everyone, because the human rights will still be watching them and the rest. The orders mostly comes from the international bodies, like if they wakileta ujinga weni, hiyo ndio maana mnapatanga Syria, Palestine, Israel, like wanauana. If they resist, kill. It's the order from the international bodies. If they resist, kill. It's the only way they know their power. So they're gonna kill. I'm not gonna lie to you. Killing is the only way they know how to silence. And you have seen the masses and everything they've done. So someone who like tulipewa a bad picture about is Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi. These three people were people who are refusing to do their ways. That's why they had to be killed. The moment you refuse to do what they want, they will kill you. So they will still leaders in their own ground who will be able to control. They will be able to control. In Kenya, they've instilled leaders, but Kibaki at least alikuwa anaweza kubalance. Uhuru at least aliweza kubalance, but sasa shida ya Ruto ni moja. Ruto akona makatels wengi wenye ameshindwa kucontrol yeye mwenyewe. Ndio maana inakuwa ngumu, ndio maana tunasikia imekuwa ngumu kila mahali, like it's difficult. So I'll urge you, like if you're gonna occupy State House, that's the only place that's gonna make Ruto down, and Ruto going down, he will go down with his own cartels, because the main mafia, mimi nasemanga the main mafia, wachana kina hawa cartel kina Duale na whatever, the main mafia watamwambia wewe tulikupea hiyo nguvu but umeshindwa kumaintain, so they'll let him drop. Thank you for the platform and wishing you all the best, because if I was in the country, believe me, I could be on the forefront. Thank you everyone for your time.
Okay, thank you. The message is clear, and the only mission that we have right now is to occupy State House. Hii idea I've had, like, people like Recomondi, people like Boniface Mwangi. One thing I've always said, if hata ukikuja na your own agendas na nini, but I'm only every voice yenye ina support our agenda, it's okay. Ikifika mali ianze kuongea ujinga, we drop that voice. So we are getting every energy that we need to the platform. The only thing we should avoid is those external voices trying to distract us, because I think we know likes of Kina Boniface Mwangi for minutes now. we know, like, so the rest of the people for a minute now, si ati tunawaambiwa sahi, we already know about them, but as long as they are pushing for the agenda, it's good. But wakifika mahali waanze kutuambia ujinga, you can't occupy state house, you can't do this, then now we know when to drop such voices. So that was very important, and the message is one. The message for Tuesday is let's occupy state house. Hizi ideas mingi zenye tunafanya ni unnecessary. Let's gather, let's see how we'll be able to get to march to state house and have a conversation. We are not there to destroy anything. We are not, no, we just want to have a conversation with Ruto so that we can have an understanding. Sababu I think hizi vitu zenye tunaandika huku kwa online wakati mwingine ni kama on hizi messages, because we can't tell you something different, something then you go right, then you do something completely different. Tumekwambia tutaki kina Kidiki, umewarudisha. Hatutaki kina Chirchir, umewarudisha. Sasa we going to have a conversation with you. I think the only way we can have a conversation with William Ruto ni twende pale tuongee naye. Meanwhile, I will just be requesting a small help from the guys who are on the space and they are listening. Apart from being an activist, I'm usually a software engineer, and one of the platforms that I've developed alongside my co-founder, it's called Codisha, and it was picked up by Total Energy. Now I will be requesting for your support via votes, and I've pinned it on my pinned tweet on my profile. Go check my pinned tweet. It's just sign up and you like. That's how you are voting for my platform to advance in Total Energy startups challenges. So it's one of a very good disruptive idea, and I'm really happy I worked on that project. And yeah, so that's all I'm requesting from Kenyans. Then meanwhile, let's continue with Ramadan. Ramadan, kindly jump in.
Good evening, everyone. Hello.
Yes, tunakusikia Ramadan. Continue. Yes, continue.
Okay, thank you, Edgar and Mkenya Daima, for giving me this opportunity. Okay, I just want to speak for just a few things to try to understand. First of all, if there is anyone that is more angry, is me. Reason why? Ruto, he has shown us a middle finger in a way that, something that comes in my mind is that how comes, okay, in another way, you say that you have hidden to the call of the Gen Z demonstrating because for the good governance, good leadership, and accountability and transparency. But later on, when the pressure keep on insisting, then you come to the media, you speak to the national television, addressing the nation in a way that to show that you are more concerned with the cry of the citizens. So the question is, after hearing the cry of the nation, then to an extent you come and dissolve the cabinet in a way that you are planning to reconstitute it again. Okay, that's good. We applaud that move. But the question is, now that today he has mentioned the first 11 of his cabinet, the ones who are being reappointed again, and the ones who are going to be nominated again. Let's keep in mind that in the first 11, we have the 6 ones who are in Minister of Interior, that is Kindiki. We have Duale Defense, and we have Chirchir, and the rest. McHugh, you should know that they will not go through vetting as per the articles of our constitution during the vetting, because these are they've already served, and the only ones that who are going to be vetted, that the ones who are being now new nominated, those are the ones that they're going to be vetted. So my question is, we have some lawyers here listening, and we need they should try to educate us more. Okay, you dissolve the cabinet. Later on, you gazette them in a way that these are the cabinet is being dissolved, and the names that appear in the gazette which means the public names whereby they cannot hold office anymore. Reason being that the nation or the public, they have vote of no confidence to them. So today, Ruto coming to address the nation and renaming the same people that we have been in the streets demonstrating to be not nominated again or to hold any public office again. So I want lawyers to explain to us, how is it possible that, how comes you gazette the names, you dismiss the cabinet, the names who are in the cabinet, then at the same time, then you come again, you reappoint them. So how does this work? This means that Ruto, he has shown us a middle finger in a way that he has the power. He controls everything. No matter what we say, no matter what we do, he doesn't care. In a way that we'll keep on ranting here and there. We come to the spaces, we do some civic education, but who is in power? Ruto himself. Remember that we are working according to our 2010 constitution. But the question is, does this constitution only works for the people who are below, as in the young people who even you don't, as in what I'm trying to mean is that does the constitution work for the big fish, but for these people who we normal Kenyans, so whereby how comes when a matter is being addressed to the nation in a way that we have some corrupt politicians. In fact, even our parliament, we cannot say that these are we don't have leaders. These are just dealers. And my cue, our politicians, these people, they are not here for us. They are there to cover their interest and the interest of the party. Whereby every time when you go to the general elections, remember that what I keep on asking myself, each and every the one who runs for the higher seat, the seat on the hill, why is it that every time that example like what happened to Ruto, Uhuru, and Raila, they always keep on visiting they always visit to US. What is it that when we always hold our general elections, these leaders, they always visit US? What is it what is the deal? Does they go? What does the US offers them? In a way that when they come back, which means it is already done deal. So the question is not even the question. What I'm trying to say is that when you keep on saying that, I know. Every space that we keep on holding, we have some snitches in the name that they are listening, and they keep on marking who says this and who says that, because our country is being our country in a way that, sorry to say that, so our country, we have a very, very good country, in a way that, why is it that when it comes to general election, our politicians, especially the big fish, the prominent ones, they keep on coming with this ethnicity, which means our country is being divided into ethnicity. But when this movement of the Gen Zs reappeared, it got them off guard in a way that they never expected. How? It is tribeless, leaderless, partyless, and in a way whereby these politicians, I can say politicians, but they're not politicians. We do not have leaders in our country. These legislators, they're not legislators. These are just dealers. They're there to pursue their own self-interest and to cover for each and every one of the one who is occupying any seat in any constituency. So who are they? Who are suffering? It is we Kenyans. And this now that we are in a I can say the Generation Z, as the famous word, but this is the third liberation, a third liberation. And this third liberation, it doesn't have tribe, it doesn't have leader, it doesn't have party. So it has become a threat to the political class. And you can see they are now regrouping themselves. Why? Because the movement, it has become a threat to them. Meaning, if they have put their differences aside, in a way that they need to counter the movement, to protect their interests, to protect their interests. So, what can we do? Keep on saying, let's go to the streets Tuesday. After Tuesday, we rest on a Wednesday. Then let's go to the streets on a Wednesday. I mean on a Thursday. With what agenda? Then after that, we rest. So government, they keep on learning our moves. Yes, it is good. They learn our moves, but if we go to the streets, example like on a Tuesday, they'll just ignore, say, they'll demonstrate on that particular day, following day, they go back to their homes. So look at what is happening in Bangladesh. We keep on coming to the space, we educate each other, we mobilize, but when it comes to the ground, we do not have numbers. And when it become a threat to a regime, we are not overthrowing the government. We need them to hear our cries in a way that if we mobilize in a large number, in masses, it will become a threat. In a way that if we decide let's occupy a certain a certain public office or a certain public building. So how can we coordinate? So we need to be strategically in a way that we need to mobilize mass in number, in a way that when you go to the streets, if it is on a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so be it even in a 24-hour clock, not just because we go to the street, then in the evening we disperse. No, if we say that we let's occupy Uhuru Park, for example, this Uhuru Park, let it be a meeting point whereby we are meeting in a large number of people. So we articulate our views. We share our views. But when it comes to the space, we will talk, we'll talk. We have some snitches. They have their notebook, keep on writing down. Or Edgar, you say this, then let's trace these people. The question is, how are we going to do this? We need to come strategically. So the thing is, what I'm trying to say that let's mobilize people. Let's large numbers. If we decide to occupy a certain place, let's occupy a certain place. Then we can see when you keep on the pressure to the government. Because what now Ruto doesn't care.
Ramadan, we are losing you.
Some have injured, some have died. So
I think
sorry.
I was just telling you we are losing you. We can't hear you. Katika sana. So I don't know whether 6,000 you can hear us. Kindly jump in.
Yeah, Mkenya, you can hear me, right?
Yes, nakupata.
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say Ruto is a madman, and madmen should not be given a chance to lead a country. They should just be participants. Secondly, vote for my boy Mkenya on that Twitter make sure you vote for him. As much as we are fighting this revolution, pia lazima unga ipatikane. So I vote from Kenya. Now I want to say this. Mi nakuaga mtu, I don't believe in failure. Failure has never been an option to me. And when I decide we are doing it, we are doing it. One problem affecting Kenya is recycling leaders. And recycling this leader a problem since independence up to date. The same faces we've been seeing since independence are the ones that are fucking us up. They have created a cartel in the government, which is now legal. And Ruto is a very clever man. He has done this twice on purpose. One is put out a cabinet to set up his people. Wananchi wakikataa ataenda waambie niliwarudisha, wananchi wakakataa, sasa nyinyi endeni. Secondly, he has put up so that to test waters aone what will the citizens do. Are they going to be angry or are they going to accommodate this, because this is a poll that was given by TV47 somewhere. Now, when I come to us as a person, as a people, we have a problem. Na shida yetu ni kuanza maandamano saa 6 ya mchana. Hakuna mahali unaweza anza maandamano saa 6 ya mchana na ikuwe successful. Umepatia opponent chance. In football there is something we usually say. Kama unaenda game away, make sure you arrive on the field 1 hour earlier so that you can learn how the ground is. You can learn what corner kuna mashimo wapi. In case player anaweza umia, tunaweza tumia side gani poa ya kukimbia. That is what we do in football. We usually say before when the ball, kula 1 hour before game. Why do we do that? So that usikue mzito ukifika kwa hiyo grao. But sisi on this side tukileta the same context hapa is just that we are failing to learn our opponent, and we are giving our opponent time to strategize and come up with measures on how they are going to oppress us. And these policemen are they know. When we had large crowds, they could not manage us. And when we had lesser crowds, imagine kama Tuesday walitufinya katikati. Polisi walisimama Kenyatta Avenue, wengine wakasimama ile round hiyo junction ya Koja na Kimathi. Wanapiga tear gas huku, mnabaki na hiyo choche iko hapo, hiyo place inaitwa Jos. Hiyo ka restaurant hapo Jos karibu na Bihi Towers. Kuna choche iko hapo. Hapo wakaamua na wakapiga tear gas, wakapiga ile maji yao. Inamaanisha wameshawa overpower. So ni watu kuskata into crowd, wengine waanze kukimbia home. Tukiwa wengi, wakichapa Moi Avenue, Kenyatta Avenue ina run. Wakichapa Kenyatta Avenue, Kimathi Street inakimbia. Wakipiga Kimathi, Tomboya pia ni ngumu. Wakipiga Tomboya, Ronald Ngala ni kubaya. Wakipiga Ronald Ngala, Haile Selassie itembei. Haile Selassie, Uhuru Highway itembei. That means wenyewe hata watachoka waende home. So I'll tell you one, this country belongs to us. And I've always said, I will always go to these maandamanos. Why? Because I love my country. And I said, it's not because I don't have money. And I want to tell any person wagava mwenye ako hapa. Me, I earn a very good salary. And I'm here because I'm fighting for my country. There is nobody who has funded me to leave my house to go to this maandamano. Hakuna. In fact, hakuna pesa inaweza ninunua niache my country. This country is very important to me. Mimi nimekataa kuenda majuu several times because I love this country. Hakuna ile freedom yenye naweza enjoy Kenya yenye naweza enjoy huko majuu. Imagine Kenya right now naweza cheza ball. Kama leo nimetoka job, nimeingia zoezi, nimepiga zoezi 6 to 8. Nimekuja kwa nyumba, sasa natoka kwa nyumba niende pale pool. Kesho ni weekend na enjoy. Siwezi pata hiyo nini nikiwa majuu. Majuu lazima nifanye kazi 3-4 ndo ni survive. Hapa salo moja pekee imetosha kunieka hapa na enjoy life. So guys, this is what we are fighting for, that freedom. Wale wanasema sijui atenda maandamano, tuko na job na mnalipwa sijui salary gani. Sare hizo, ambia mdosi maandamano lazima tuende. Hata mdosi mwenyewe unamwambia si tunakupigania. Me I once told my boss tumeongezewa tax from 12% to 20%. Lazima tuende huko nje tupiganie hii finance bill idropiwe. Tukitolewa 12% peleke 20%, sisi kama kampuni si ndo tunaumia. Tutakuwa tufanyi kazi, tutakuwa tunafanyia KRA mboka. already providers wanakula ido, so sisi wenyewe tukipata hii pesa haitusaidii. So guys, I just want to give you a challenge. Na hii maandamano si Tuesday pekee, tuanze Sunday. Sijaenda kanisa for 11 years, but this Sunday nachukua ile kitu ya Mwabili. Mimi nitatafuta kanisa William Ruto ataenda, na hapo kwa pulpit nitaitisha mic. Whether itakuwa nini, nitatafuta hiyo kanisa. And if I get a chance to get to that church, nitaomba mic, I speak. Because imefika point tunaanza kudefend religion, unaona mapasta wanakuja side yetu because wanaona sisi tuna complain. After washaona gava inaongea wanatuambia dialogue, juu washalipwa pale State House. Churches have been the biggest avenues zenye zimekuwa zina spread money laundering, corruption, bribes. Hizo ndo zimekuwa the biggest avenues, and we should stop them this Sunday. Sasa wajue, we are also against churches that are taking bribes from these politicians for this politician to side with them. Why am I saying we occupy churches on Sunday? All the elderly people go to church, and that is where they get brainwashed. And when they are brainwashed in these churches with small handouts, wacha nikuambie kitu moja. Sasa ukienda kanisa yenu na useme nimetoa 100,000 kujenga hii kanisa mahali imebaki, you will always be hawa mama watakusifu, mtoto wa so and so ametusaidia hii kanisa yetu ina develop. Why? Because they believe in that church and wamebrainwashiwa ku believe that church is very important to them. So huko ndo watu wana brainwashiwa na hizi pesa. We start with there. Tell these women, huyu jamaa amefanya hii. Kama Mkenya ataenda kutranslate kwa Kikamba Seikuru ni sawa. Elige akienda Shamahoho translate kwa Kidaho ni sawa. That is what we want. Secondly, kwa MP wamesha nominatiwa, which means hao makabinet wanaenda kwa parliament. On Monday, occupy all constituencies in the country and make sure if your MP doesn't show up, kama hata show up, break his office or burn down his office, he should know he doesn't have an office if he cannot speak to his people. They have to come out and speak to their people and listen to the cries of the people they represent in each constituency. And this should happen this Monday. On Tuesday, we occupy State House, we occupy all airports in this country. Watu wa Mombasa, enda pale ports, occupy KPA, Kenya ports. Go occupy everywhere. Wacha ferry isimame hiyo siku. Wale wa Eldoret, sijui ni Moi whatever, occupy. Wale wa Kisumu, the airport, occupy. Wale wa Nairobi, JKIA, Wilson, whatever airports that are in this country, we are occupying. And this one can only be made with numbers. Watu wa Mombasa Road tukisema sisi tuna occupy JKIA. Watu wa huku Tao wote tuna occupy State House. Guys, it has come a time whereby he will have to kill the 52 million of us. Lazima atatupiga sisi 52 million. Mimi nasema hivi juu mimi nimeenda maandamano zote. Since day one, hata siku Avenida walituwekea ngoma pale, I was in town mpaka saa 5 ya usiku. So guys, it is a high time we now start doing this. Na tukianza Sunday, tunamaliza Tuesday, tuna rest Tuesday, tunapiga Thursday na Friday. Alafu tuna rest Saturday, Sunday tunaingia church. 2 weeks this country has to stand. Wale wajinga kama Gideon Kitheka wanakuja hapa wanatuambia we are banning this country. Since we started maandamano for 1 month, we've only lost 6 billion. Since Uhuru Ruto started stealing, they stole 60 billion in 1 month. 1 month tumeiba 6 million. Wao waliiba 60 billion. The difference is 54 billion shillings between us, which means they benefited 54 billion with 54 billion shillings. So nyinyi mkikuja hapa kutuambia we are burning this country down, go sit down and start thinking. Juu umelipwa 500, umebiliambiwa tutanunua tenda za sola zako, unakuja kutuambia hapa upuzi. Tutaangusha hizo sola zako pia kama unafikiria it's where we have to put. Wale wenye wanalipwa wanataka kufuata sijima influencer. Let me tell you, Edgar, I know Edgar, lakini akiandika kitu ya upuzi mimi nitaruka. I will not like, I will not repost, because siko hapa kujengana, siko hapa kufuata mtu. I'm here to think individually as an individual. I'll think as an individual, go out there as an individual, because this country I came as an individual. Hatukuzaliwa wawili wadau. Hakuna mtu, mimi sikuzaliwa na Mkenya, sikuzaliwa na pimp, sikuzaliwa na Dani. I was born alone, and when I was born alone, I'm fighting this war individually, but I need other people who are fighting individually. We join our forces and go out there and force for a change. Hatuwezi bebwa ujinga. Ruto alisema siji no public servant with the age of 60 will be allowed to hold office. Alice Wahome is 65 years of age. We have an attorney general who has not practiced law for 25 years. And we still want to come here and say that William Ruto, we need to give him a dialogue. Kindly majama tuanze Sunday to Monday, Tuesday tuwape time wa rest, Wednesday, Thursday tuingie, Friday tuingie, wacha wa rest Sato tuingie tena Sunday, so that Ruto should know it is not business as usual. Now this time it is personal, and they should know we are not our parents. We don't forget and we don't forgive. That is something they should know. Na ikifika point mzazi anakukataza, wewe pia kata black tax. Usimtumie hiyo pesa yenye anataka umtumie nyumbani. Mimi nawaambiaga si watumii, make your own decisions now that mmedecide. Mimi amjui penye hiyo pesa inatoka. So hakuna haja uniforce ni kuwekea pesa na utaki nipiganie nchi yangu. Guys, tutoke. Now we are all hypocrites and we are all fools. We listened to people who told us not to go to State House. We listened that day and we were prepared to march. Then we listened to people. Guys, we are all fools. I'm also a fool. I listened to these people. Kindly let us stand up as a nation, as a people, and take back our country. It is time to start taking back this country. This country is more important than any individual, than any cartel. Kindly, I beg you, the people of the Republic of Kenya, we are demanding for good governance. We are not trying to overthrow our government. We are trying to just make things work out in this beautiful nation. This country has a lot of potential. Thank you. Edgar. Edgar, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much. 6,000. Kwani Mkenya amedrop?
Mkenya sasa anatumia Infinix kwa space. Shida watu wa Infinix ikiboil mic inakuwa mbaya, unaanguka.
Oh, okay. Kuria, you can take over. You can give your submission.
Yeah, thanks everybody for having me. Hopefully I'm audible. Thanks for the host and everybody. So I'll just give a quick submission. So the beauty of all these resubmission and reappointment has really reinforced something that who Ruto is. He's really a convincing liar, and all along, people generally were tending to starting to warm up to him. But I'm really loving that we can see and convince it to our parents and everybody, this is who he is. So I agree with all the previous speakers, what they have said, and we really need to hit hard where it hurts most. So it's a genuine consensus that State House is where we should be, and we're not going to change our mind. That's where we should be. And in addition, I just want to just throw something in there. So there's this image that he has really tried to portray that in terms of getting international media, I think that's another thing we need to have. I think we should add we should actually also try to picket at an embassy. And I think the American embassy will also be another place that we should actually probably go and picket there. Because this definitely, I think he really like portraying that good image, that to give us the mass outlook to everybody. So I think it's another target we should actually probably consider. I'm just throwing it out there for anybody for consideration. But that is a thought that, yeah, I just needed to say. That's all from my end.
Thank you so much for your short submission. Mkenya, can you hear me? Mkenya. Okay, kama Mkenya unisikii ni sawa. Ajadelo.
No, nakusikia. It's only that let us continue please. Continue. Nasikia.
Ngoja. Kindly when you are given the mic, kindly stay on mute until uambiwe uongee. Sasa ukiunmute, Ruto anatukasirisha, wewe ukuja pia utukasirisha ya bure. Adadelo, kindly. Sawa kama hayuko. Dominic.
Hello and good evening, everybody.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good. Edgar, Kenya. Thank you guys for being here. I want to make some few remarks or comments pertaining this. And first and foremost, I want to applaud you guys for the good job. It is always very serious to start a fight and you don't end it. A revolution is something that is very serious. We have learned this from the French revolutions of 1776, where the peasants or the middle class, the young one, were being oppressed. And the oppression can only end when the oppressed wake up and demand for their rights. In this case, we are handling dealers, as my colleagues have said. We are not dealing with the leaders. And Ruto is one very skilled person. I do call him myself the incorrigibly corrupt character. If we guys are keen enough, and if you have studied him or his political history, he earned them a financial muscle by grabbing and cutting deals. So bringing back the 6 CSs, Duale, Wahome, these are people with questionable characters. I think we remember all the case of Wahome during the last election, the Jubilee, how he was manhandling the IBC personnel. These are cartels. And this guy is pretending to be very smart. Today, he came with a list of 11. But this guy was just purposing to test the waters. Bringing back the 6, trying to blend or to sugarcoat with the 6 whom he called technocrats, that will be subjected to scrutiny because the 6 already served in his government. That means he will have them to go and scrutinize. Davis Chirchir is his ICT guru, and he cannot manage to lose him. And these guys manipulate the elections process, including that of the president and their cohorts. The people who are in the assembly are misbehaving because they are not the elected leaders. They are the selected leaders. These people are the people whom were given certificate and warranted. Are we together, guys? Are you there?
Yes, we can hear you. Proceed.
Yes.
Continue injecting.
So we guys need to fight this war and sanitize this country once and for all. If it doesn't take us to do that, and then we have no option but to lie low. Unless we stand up, we fight the fight up to the end, we are doomed to fail and